Hi, my name is Rebekah Ryan. I'm the collections manager here at the Eiteljorg Museum. When people hear the word collections, they generally get a sense that I deal with finances. But my job actually involves caring for the art collection. That's everything from paintings to beadwork to textiles. And I'll walk you through a couple of the quilts in this special exhibit gallery today. I'm so happy to be able to welcome you to the Quilts Uncovering Women's Stories exhibition. I would have loved to be able to do this tour with you in person, to be able to respond to your questions and requests. But one of the benefits of us pre-recording this for you is that we can take the camera really close to the items in a way that you wouldn't have been able to do with us while we're social distancing. One of the first pieces you see when entering the gallery is this quilt and pair of pillows, created by just a handful of the over 17,000 Japanese Americans who were interned at the Poston Internment Camp in Arizona. In 1944, Masako Hirata was teaching Western history to her 4th grade class and decided to have them create this quilt as part of that lesson. Masako and her students completed the cross-stitching and piecing by using scrap cloth and even repurposing a red shower curtain to create these striking blocks. Her sister, Phyllis Mizuhara, contributed the muslin border. As one would imagine, you can see evidence of the different hands who worked on this quilt. We'll take a look at a few of those. As you can see, this was a first-time cross-stitching for a lot of these students, I imagine. So Richard perhaps has a little bit more fluid cross-stitching. And Anne, of course, spent a little bit more time getting those lines really nice and crisp. So one of the interesting parts of this quilt is that over time, it's needed a little bit more love and attention to be able to stabilize the piecing. So I'm going to be able to turn back this corner for you and you can see the changes. So as you can see here, things have been stabilized by hand. And if you look very closely on the top of the quilt, you'll see those stitches. They look pretty meticulous. This quilt was made by Manuela Sosa McKenna around 1888 from wool and cotton with hand-stitched embroidery. Manuela Sosa McKenna worked on this quilt while her husband, Michael McKenna, suffered from an illness. It depicts a portion of their family genealogy starting with Manuela and Michael up at the top and following 7 of their 10 children. Women often used quilts as a way to record and preserve important information about their families, as quilts like this one would become family heirlooms passed down through generations. And one of the interesting parts of this quilt is the number of repairs that have needed to happen over time. So we're going to take a look at a few of those. So we're going to turn back the bottom corner of this quilt to take a look at some of the repairs. So the most striking repair on the back of this quilt is this binding that's been added in between each of the blocks. And then you also see that there are patches that have been added. The individuals who have made these repairs over time did a good job of matching color and texture. There's lots of different types of wools and cottons that make up this quilt. And then the repairs, of course, allow people to access the stitches for the embroidery in case repairs need to be made there.